Welcome back to the Tailgate Sports Media Podcast, the premier podcast for sports, mostly football, and the best part of sports, the tailgate. I'm Peyton. That's Devin. No guest this week. Bad juju.
Never again.
Did we have anything to talk about for the UFL?
I think it's all pretty much the same from last week. They're just
Yeah,
debuting teams now. Um,
they're
fucking
gonna
my
do the regional thing, like players are gonna go play for the teams closest to their college, unless if they're like a big name college like Ohio State, apparently, something like that.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's it. Okay, then we will move into college football. We'll just jump into it. So the worst part, the recap of last week. Um, all right, we'll start off with the Bama Mizzou game. It was a close game, pretty much till the end.
Yeah, it
Know
was a
that Mizzou had a chance to win it in the fourth quarter. Um, Bama held on. You picked Missouri. I picked Bama.
I needed
But
a win. I like them being at home with that running back, and the running back is really good, and he ended up getting 53 yards. So
yeah,
egg
this
on the face.
tough Bama defense. Bama always is going to have really good players. So Ty Simpson is, you know, we'll talk about it after the next one. But Ty Simpson is one of those Heisman candidates right now. I think Ty Simpson looks really good. Um, yeah, somehow they can't keep getting away with it, but Bama does. They keep being good. We thought that they're falling off after they lost to Florida State. And then we thought Florida State was really good because Bama looked really good. And now it looks like Florida State's going to look like not a great loss. Weird concept. I don't know.
It'd be hilarious if they end up dropping a game and Florida State completely falls off again, and it's like, yeah, you can't get in the playoff, losing to Florida
Yeah,
State.
Bama doesn't have all cupcakes on their schedule either. So it's going to be a wild look. Okay, we'll just move on. Um, the next one is this one I want to talk about Oregon, Indiana. We all picked Oregon. We were wrong. We got Signetti.
Happy
Um,
to be wrong.
Happy. Indiana is like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain them. I think that their quarterback should be the Heisman frontrunner because I just that dude's a monster and he's young. I don't think he's could go into the draft this year if he wanted to. This is the Indiana. What Indiana happening right now is what makes college football so fun. What Indiana's doing.
I mean, having that one random team that you didn't expect, like, and it's been a couple years that they've been, or it's 2 years now that they've uh, started doing this. Fernando Mendoza, he's a junior.
Yep. Oh, he's a junior? True junior?
I think he's a true junior.
Huh.
Redshirt junior, actually. Cal transfer.
Yeah. He transferred from Cal. I thought so he's draft eligible.
Yeah. Having that one random team, and they've been a couple years in the process now that just kind of randomly just pops up out of nowhere. And that is the one good thing about NIL and the portal is that it's going to make it's you're seeing it in the SEC already, where like teams there's so much more parity between teams. You know,
Yeah.
why am I going to go sit the bench here, hope for an NFL career when I can go get paid here and show off my talent, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I think that I do like a more level playing field where everyone realistically does have a shot. So that's awesome. It's
And
glad
money doesn't mean
I can
anything
be an
too.
Indiana fan until they come and mess up my team.
Yeah. Well, money doesn't mean much because you look at Penn State, who has all the money in the world, and they just fired their head coach. UCLA, who has a lot of money, was terrible, and somehow they're good now. Um, Decent, no, not good, but decent, serviceable, if you would say. Better than they were, that's for sure. Okay, yeah. This is what I'm thoroughly impressed with Indiana about is just like obviously they dominate teams. And they were a playoff team last year that lost play key players. Like they're starting like all Big Ten center. I think they lost their starting quarterback. Um, some other playmakers. Like I just Indiana's that team that you look at and you say, okay, coaching still matters.
Yeah, I think that's a really good sign of a good coach is when you bring in a bunch of like, oh, I have a successful system, and then you lose a bunch of those pieces. You plug in new pieces, and it still works just as well, if not better. That's a really good coach.
Yep, I agree. All right. Next game is Ohio State, Illinois. Ohio State won. Uh, Illinois was ranked. I just didn't see like I don't know, I'm not impressed. Wasn't impressed with Illinois. They're decent. They're a top 40, top 50 team in the college football, but
Yeah, but not 19.
yeah, they're not going to be competing in the Big Ten for a championship this year. Altmaier's a good quarterback. I forget the
I
head
think he
coach's
threw his
name.
first interceptions this past weekend.
hmm I mean, but Ohio State is just a freak defense,
Mhm.
stacked, and then on offense, Julian Sayin looks really good, but I mean, you just go down the list of their roster, and you got like 20 NFL guys, probably maybe more. And when I say NFL guys, I mean like competing for starting spots, NFL guys at least, if not superstars. So you just that defense, Ohio State defense, is probably under an unsung hero because they have so much star power on offense. But the best part of that Ohio State team, in my opinion, is their defense. They are Caleb Downs, who is like generational safety. Like I think it's something like he had like 300 snaps without a like like touchdown scored on him. Like if he's in when he's in coverage, there's no touchdowns ever scored on him. Um, I for a second I thought it was completions, but then I was like, there's no fucking way that that's possible. And if that is like the case, like I would trade 18 years of draft picks for that guy.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, like that
You
would
never tried
be
to run like a little hitch on him or anything? Holy shit.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, he plays a really good. He's like a Nick Saban style safety where they don't run a bunch of man. The safety is true man. What Nick Saban does is he runs that match scheme, which is you're playing zone, but it's with man principles, or you're playing man with zone principles, I should say, where like corners are just anything short and inside, they don't care. They're getting into a deep third. They're looking for something coming across, something deep. They just don't give away the deep ball, and then everything they want you to catch. They're giving you the short routes, and they're telling you, yeah, go for it, try and catch that, and we'll close on it and make a play. Like we're gonna fuck you up. And then just disguising defenses. But Caleb Downs is incredible at all of those things, and his football IQ is through the roof. So, um, yeah, just tough. I would be surprised if he's not a top three pick. I don't know what draft analysts say like the value at safety is. I don't really look into that. I just think that like, hey, if you have a generational player at that position that can lock down that position for 10 years, you probably should take them in your draft, especially if you need that position, because that like
Yeah.
overhauls your ability. But yeah,
The Cowboys can take them. Our defense might need a little help. I don't think it's necessarily all the players, but a really good safety never hurts.
yeah. Right now, if I was guessing who'd have the shot at picking him, it'd be like the Saints or the is that the Cardinals. If the Cardinals got Caleb Downs and they had Buda Baker and Isaiah Sim, like ideally that would be a stacked defense.
The
But
fact
they're
that you didn't pick the only team that doesn't have a win yet is hilarious.
the Cardinals. Oh,
The
the
Jets.
Jets. Yeah, I think the Jets are going to go for a quarterback. I think the Jets are like they're just a lost puppy, so they don't know what they want. So they're just going to keep trying to pick a quarterback because the Jets have talent at receiver. They have talent at running back. They really just they need a better head coach. Think about this. We'll get into this with the NFL, but at one point Todd Bowles was the Jets head coach. Um, okay. The next game we picked was South Florida and North Texas.
Good first half.
Good first half. North Texas was getting a little too chirpy with the boys. I think North Texas was trying to talk a lot of shit, and they got steamrolled in the second half. Yeah, I picked North Texas. I knew that was going to be a bad pick. Didn't think it was going to be that bad of a pick, but yeah, South Florida showed why they're ranked. I mean, at the end of the day, they one of your hats fell.
Okay, it's that hat. I confirmed it. I keep putting that one up in that corner, and it keeps falling. It keeps falling. I was like, man, this one spot just sucks. No, it's that fucking hat, and it's my Brahma's hat too. So, I mean,
Fallen, never to return. That's what it's saying.
it's hurting just thinking about it.
Yeah, maybe in the next, maybe not this next. I don't know. We'll talk about that more at more depth at some point. We talked about it a lot last week. Yeah, North Texas. I don't think there's much to talk about here. I think that USF is just one of the top three group of five teams, group of
This,
six.
I think this one was important because they beat Florida, they beat Boise State, they got beat up by Miami, but other than that, they've looked really good. And so this was like, hey, was that stuff that happened earlier in the season like early season bullshit? Or are these guys legit? And this was like, okay, they are legit. They
Yep.
beat a 5-0, they beat an undefeated team. They're in their conference win. They look really good for the American, and they should be the all out favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Tulane and Memphis still have something to say about that, but we'll see. All right. To the heartbreak. That was OU Texas. Um, I'll start and then I'll let you. We watched the game together, so you
I'm
kind
gonna
of
pop
know.
some pills for this one real quick.
Yeah, there you go. We watched the game together. You kind of know my thought process on this already, but I think that in the first half, our defense was absolutely dominating the line of scrimmage. Second half, our defense was getting knocked off the ball. Our front seven was getting knocked off the ball. Part of that was they were getting gassed
Yep.
because we couldn't figure out anything on offense. And the reason we couldn't figure out anything on offense is because we tried to keep running cute shit. We were just being too cute. We ran like 47 misdirection plays. At some point, just play football. Don't try and be the smartest guy in the room. Sometimes the smartest, you know what? This keep it
Nerds get
simple.
their ass kicked all the time because the guy they're fighting is a lot stronger and heavier than them. Just be the stronger, bigger guy and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Go
Well,
faster.
not even just that. It's like keep it simple, stupid. Like, okay, the middle of the field isn't working right now because we haven't worked anything to get outside of the box. We haven't run these guys from left to right at all. We aren't getting completions, so we can't. So we're not tiring the defense out. And guess what? Okay, then draw up shit to get completions. And then when John Mateer has the ball, so this is something that I've already noticed with John Mateer. Obviously, I'm not saying he's bad, but when it comes to like quarterbacking, layering the football,
Yep. And that's something that
not
we brought in. And we talked about that after the
yeah,
Michigan game. He just has
it's
issues. He wants to throw it on a rope directly to somebody. throw it
Yes.
through a defender, and he's not putting air under the ball.
Yes. And I mean, maybe a little bit of it was that brace he's wearing on his thumb. Like maybe a little bit of it is just his thumb was hurting and he couldn't rip it like he's used to as far as accuracy goes. But really, the underlying issue is, and it's going to be an issue for as long as he's a quarterback and he doesn't fix it, is the concept of layering the football.
Yeah.
It's needed at this level. You have to, especially when you play a really good defense, because those windows aren't going to be fucking industrial sized windows. They're going to be small shack windows sometimes that you have to throw a ball into, and you have to have the right angle on the ball to get it there. And he can make the throws. It's not that. I just think that he didn't do any good on good for most of the week, so he wasn't seeing it, and the sun hurt. I'm sure, like the sun angle in the Cotton Bowl is weird, but it hurts the away team more than it hurts the home team. But I don't. That's
Which
just
is a
all.
weird thing for a place that's famous for its neutral games.
Yeah, it's also hoopla. Like I don't care. Like the sun.
I
We
mean,
can grab.
if everything else had gone right, it would be a no issue. Or if you had done everything else right, it'd be a non-issue. You wouldn't be
Yeah,
like, oh, like he dropped one pass because the sun was in his eyes.
yeah,
But we were in a situation where we had to make those throws, so now it's a
yes.
big.
Well, it's not even just that the sun being in his eyes; it's the sun being the receiver's eyes. So it's
That's
like
what I meant. Yeah, the
you're
sun being
losing
in the
it.
receiver's eyes, and
Yeah,
obviously the one pass gets dropped by, I think it was Kinnick.
he didn't even
Kinnick, sorry.
drop it. Yeah, it just went sailed
He
over him.
couldn't. Yeah, he didn't drop it. Like basically, he's like, I know the ball's coming. I don't know where the fuck it's at.
Yeah, I mean, at some point though, like they're getting paid for this. They all get paid. Like we can't say that they're amateurs. They're getting paid. So at some point, you just got to suck it up and deal with it and do better. But like I'm not sitting here like I'm not one of those OU fans that's like, oh, the refs robbed us. Like, yeah, there was two blocking the backs on that punt return, but that's one play. And we had an after that punt return, we had opportunities to win the game and we didn't capitalize.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, even then, it's a 10 point difference.
yeah, everything's not going to roll your way all the time. And if you can't respond and you can't figure it out and you tuck your head between your legs, which it felt like OU did. I felt like the last three offensive series we'd kind of given up, and then we kept biting ourselves in the ass or kicking ourselves in the ass by holding penalties, all these things that, like, I mean, it all stems from the fact that we didn't have a run game and we ran the ball decent sometimes with Blaylock, and then we just go away from it and throw two incompletions. Like we need we need a lot less. They needed a lot less cute shit in this game and a lot more, sustainment, especially for drives. They needed to figure out how to sustain drives better, and they just didn't figure it out, and they lost. Hopefully, against South Carolina, they correct some of it. If not, we've got a long road ahead of us because we have a lot of tough games coming up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't have any issues really with what the defense did. The defense got fucking gassed.
Yeah.
The defense gave up 16 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with a 16-point effort against in a rivalry game. Offensive play calling, it was cute shit first down, run up the middle for nothing at best on second down, and then you had third and long.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to defend third and long than it is to defend 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, even 3rd and 6.
Yep.
We would just constantly it felt like every second down we're running it up the middle, running it up the middle, running it up the middle. And I get you can't just throw the ball because then it's 10 times easier for your opponent to do play calling. But when you do run the ball and you're getting beat up at the front, first of all, let's make this clear. Our offensive line injuries are pretty much just as deep as they were last year.
Yep.
We have a lot more depth, I feel like, and the injuries aren't as severe as they were. Some guys are rotating back in, and some guys get hurt and they rotate back out. So, but we had 5 linemen on the list that were hurt. Our offensive line is not there against a very good Texas defense. Texas has a good defense. So we're getting beat up at the line. We're getting gassed on defense. We need to start playing short, accurate football or getting outside where you can capitalize your speed. You know what my favorite play is? One of my favorite plays is when you do the halfback pitch from the shotgun formation.
Pitch out. He sprints out. You pitch it to him real quick.
He sprints out and you just pitch it. And
Get him in
he's
space.
already out. and you capitalize on their speed and they go. Okay, and we
Yeah.
have players that could do that.
Well, on top of that, it's kind of like in a way you're running a outside zone. And for offensive linemen, zone blocking is much easier from it depends on what how you grew up, but especially like today's schemes, you're much more likely to see a good zone blocker as far as an offensive lineman goes than a good man scheme blocker. Um, and outside zone also gives your running back, if you have a running back with good vision, which by all accounts, Blaylock is like that running back, then what you're setting up in those scenarios is the multiple lanes to run the ball through.
Yeah.
And I mean, the real thing is if we're going to have a run game at some point, your your offensive linemen have to figure out how to work to the second level, and our offensive linemen have not. I'm not saying that's a
They're not
scheme thing.
putting
There's no
anybody
way
on
it's a
their
scheme
ass. They're
thing.
not getting anybody out of the way. They're getting beat at the line, and then there's just a giant clusterfuck of guys
Yeah,
at the line of scrimmage, and they don't. There's not opening a hole. Even if you don't open a hole, okay, if you push that defensive line back 3 yards and the halfback never literally clears the line and gains 3 yards, that's a badass statement to make.
yeah,
Okay, if you're going to get beat every time, if you're going to get stuck in place and not open any holes, then the inside run is just never going to get going.
yeah. I mean, and again, we're working on a bunch of backups. I get it. Like shit
And I'm
happens.
not trying to blame the offensive line. There's a bunch of young guys and a bunch of guys who it are honestly the offensive line problems are almost as bad as they were last year. And it's
Yep.
I want to start saying it's a strength and conditioning issue because it's the second year in a row we just haven't gotten wrecked on the wide receiver front this year like we did last year. But 2 years in a row with that kind of bad luck, it's starting to be a pattern. I'm not going to say it yet, but I'm thinking
Yeah.
it.
Well, I don't know if you remember this, but Schmitty, the first time he was with the program, now what Schmitty brings is a great mindset set development. You're gonna figure out how to work through when you're tired a lot better under a Schmitty program than what we previously had. But Schmitty's strength and conditioning program is known for high attrition rate,
Yeah, I just
and I don't know. This is like high school shit, but when after every game, you go in and you do your little post. So after your football game, you do your film, you do a little conditioning, a little film, and a little lift. So you do your conditioning, you go outside, you run, snakes or gassers or something for 30 minutes. And then you go inside and you get a little lift in. And then you go out and or then you go in and you do your 2 hour film session and then you go home, maybe treatment, all that stuff, right? I don't know what the strength and conditioning program fucking strength part is, but a good way to make sure your guys' legs are good. I mean, squat, just squat. There's no need to do power cleans. Power cleans are great, especially off-season development, but squat Saturdays, that's what we used to do. Every Saturday or Friday or every post game day, we would go in and we'd squat. We'd squat. And I mean, granted, I'm not pretending to be a strength and conditioning expert, but it does it is weird that we constantly are dealing with this attrition. I don't want to blame it on the strength and conditioning coach. I think he's great. I think he develops a great mindset for football, but
I mean, a mindset doesn't help on the sideline.
but if all your guys are getting torn up, then you got to start getting into some type of rep management, some type of, how like the recovery is so important in the modern league. Like, how are we figuring out how to make sure these guys are peaking as far as body health wise come Saturday, where they're
Mhm.
ready and they're not getting absolutely just destroyed, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, like typically teams like to make like their hard day Monday. So you're really working really hard on Monday. And then it slowly decreases in physical toughness and increases in mental capacity all the way until Friday. And then you get into that Saturday game. And mentally you've strained a lot, so you're ready for anything. And then physically you've strained, but you've also rested, so you're ready for Saturday. So I don't know. These guys get paid a lot of money. I'm sure they are tracking all this. So maybe we're beating a dead horse. But if you have constantly are getting 4 or 5 guys injured on the offensive line, you will never have a good football team because it is the most important group of players on a football team. Offensive
Yep.
and defensive line, the trenches is the most important group of players. And if you don't have good ones, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's good on OU on all
I
of
didn't
our
want to bring
picks.
this up. Did you see the statement that so Brent Venables made a statement being like, "Hey, this isn't like the old Big 12 where talking about how Oklahoma's gonna have like a lot more like one possession games, one possession wins. It's like this isn't like the old Big 12 where you just go dominate every week." And then everyone in the Big 12 got very, very offended by that. They were
Yeah,
very
so
upset, like he was 2-6 in conference games and while he was in the Big 12. And it's like, okay, well, let's just completely ignore the rebuilding process that comes with.
yeah,
Also, there's no way he was 2-6 in conference games. I don't know where they got
he
that.
went
Maybe it
10
was,
and 2 one year. Um, he
but
was
he
just
wasn't talking
talking
about
about
him.
what
He
OU
wasn't talking about him.
did
He's not
over.
talking about him. He's talking about the Oklahoma as a program who, in
Yeah,
28 years of Big 12 football, won 14
yes,
conference championships,
yes. Where they won more conference championship games than they lost like
home games.
home games. Yeah, it's
Yeah, they
like
had less losses at home than they had conference championships. So it's like that's a. There was I was in a Reddit thread about it, and there was literally Texas fans going like, "No, they literally kicked the shit out of all of us for 28 years." I just wanted to bring that up. I think that's so funny that all these people are coming in pissed off. Some dude from some West Virginia fan came in and he's like, "Oh yeah, well, how many BCS wins do they have?" And they're like, "They have more BCS wins than West Virginia has appearances." So I mean, why are you talking trash?
yeah. I love it when like small school fans come out of the woodworks and just start absolutely talking shit about a team that like historically dominated them.
Yep.
West Virginia fans can't talk because I remember vividly 110-pound DD Westbrook stiff arming a linebacker on a screen, breaking the tackle and scoring a touchdown in the snow. I vividly remember that. And I'm not saying I could catch DD Westbrook, but I would be so mad if I couldn't tackle DD Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
One thing to get outrun by a guy, another thing for him to bulldoze you.
and he weighs 110 pounds. Like, yeah, he didn't weigh 110. He weighed like 170 as a 6'1" wide receiver.
Yeah,
Um,
that's unhealthy.
yeah, he was like the skinny version of DK Metcalf with his body fat percentage. Moving forward, okay, we're gonna move on. Uh, I haven't seen it yet. I've been very busy at work, but it is time for the No Bitches Team of the Week.
You know, I I could be petty. You know, some would say there may be two other takes of this where I was petty. I could, be biased, play the rival card, give OU No Bitches Team of the Week. I'm on the fence, thinking about it. I'm looking around and looking at the other games, and I think it might be time. Penn State going from number 5, losing 3 in a row. Certain behavior has to be punished. Penn State's the No Bitches Team of the Week. That being said, OU still sucks.
Thank you, Ray, for the No Bitches Team of the Week. We don't know who that is. We haven't gotten the video at
He
the
didn't send
time
me
of
the video
recording.
yet. The second time he's done this, he didn't send me the video. He's already made the video, by the way. He told me, "Oh, I got it filmed." Cool. Send it
Okay.
to me.
Yeah. Thank you, Ray, for the team. This team is got no bitches, I guess.
Yep. Who do you
I'm
think it is?
assuming it's Penn State. It should be Penn State.
Should be Penn
It
State.
shouldn't be Oklahoma. Ray is a Texas fan, so it is very possible that it's Oklahoma. But if it is Oklahoma, that's the wrong pick. Call us back in a few weeks if Oklahoma goes on a 3-game losing streak, then maybe.
Yep.
But right now,
So,
for now, it's Penn State.
so Raymond reaches out to me when he's doing this because Raymond is a busy guy. He doesn't get to watch a lot of football. He likes football. He doesn't get to watch. He works Saturdays a lot, a lot, a lot. He's a busy guy. He works like us. He works full time. Maybe not as much as Peyton, but um,
I went to work at 4 this morning, by the way. I got
sucks.
out at I got out at 5 in the afternoon.
Did you get paid at least?
War Daddy. War Daddy got me paid.
There you go. Good job, War Daddy. Anyways, and Raymond was like, I think it's Oklahoma. I'm like, Raymond, last week me and you talked, you were like, it can't. I was like, I jokingly said it's Texas. He's like, no, it can't be Texas. It hasn't been that bad yet. It's not that bad yet. But when Oklahoma loses their first game in a rivalry game, he immediately wanted to pick Texas. And he was accusing me, being like, no, you're biased towards Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma. I'm like, you literally wanted to go to bat for Texas, who lost their second game against Florida. Like, what do you want? But I do believe he did pick Penn State, and it should be Penn State. We have set a precedent. If your coach gets fired, you got no bitches.
Yeah, you're on the hunt for a coach that can get bitches. And I'm going to tell you something, Devin. I have a coach in mind for Penn State.
Okay.
A lot of people have been floating names out there. Nick Saban, Matt Rule. Some people are even saying John Gruden.
Wow.
I think John Gruden wants to coach the Big Ten. I think also John Gruden's an Ohio boy, so it would be multiple levels of betrayal.
Mm-hmm,
Also, I'm like
mm-hmm.
still holding out hope that John Gruden goes and coaches the Columbus Aviators in the UFL.
Great.
But Mr. Indiana, Kurt Signetti,
Mm-hmm.
the Sig, going to the Nittany Lions. Something to look out for.
Yep. I don't think it happened.
I don't know if he'll do it. I feel like Kurt likes where he's at, and I think he gives me like Jeff Traylor vibes, where he's like, I'm gonna make this into something. I'm gonna turn this team into a hard nosed, rough and like we're gonna turn this brand into something where people look out for it. But
Yep.
Also, I really hope that Penn State doesn't make the right hire and then they just fall back into obscurity like they were post debacle. The debacle. And I really hope that happens because I would be thrilled. People are talking about them maybe bringing back Bill O'Brien too. I don't know. Okay. That was No Bitches Team of the Week. Moving forward, we have to go over our NFL picks from last week. Oh, wait, our records. Update our records. I went 2-3 on college picks, which puts me at
We both
16.
went 2 and
I think I'm at 16 and 18.
you were at 17 and 17.
I am?
Hold on, let me double check. Because you picked Bama over Missouri. I went 2 and 3. You went 3 and 2.
No, because I picked North Texas. I picked Oregon. So I got the Bama and Ohio State.
Oh, you're right. I got that backwards. We both went 2 and 3. Yep, you're right. So you're 16 and 18, which gives me a little bit of hope. I am 13 and 21.
It's okay. My NFL one's way worse. All right. Those are the current
Hilarious
records.
if you were college.
How did Raid do? Raid went
3 and
Mizzou,
2.
Oregon, huh?
3 and 2. Raymond went 3 and 2.
Damn, he's better than us. All time, the only guy with a positive, with a plus win percentage. Okay,
Yep.
All right. Best record percentage in the show history.
Well, we got to hit it with who have played at least 100 games or played at least 10 games.
Yeah,
but you got to pick 20 games to be up for the title.
Yeah, my football team from work, they're so confident that they want to join outside football leagues and play. They're like,
yeah, you
hey,
have to have a reliable schedule to do that. Imagine them forfeiting half your games because you have to work on a fucking Saturday morning.
Imagine joining a league and then getting deployed and not being there for 9 months. And Yeah, imagine that. And we also have to pay like a $300 buy-in fee.
Buy in for 300, go 5-0 to start the season, in the season 5-5, and then forfeit the first round of the playoffs.
That would be fun. At some point, like, do we support the troops or do we not? You know what I mean? Like,
Realistically, at worst, you're missing like 3 weeks, right?
yeah. If I'm 5-0 and I'm like, hey guys, we're leaving, we're deploying, like give me an honorable mention championship. All right. Moving forward. Um, we're gonna get into the NFL now. Starting with the Commanders Bears. Bears beat the Commanders 25-24, I believe. Close game. Um, Caleb Williams is turning into, I guess, kind of what we thought he would be. Um, yeah, he
He's
went.
got a coach that's developing him now.
Yeah, Ben Johnson. Who would have thunk it? Um, I think the real story was DeAndre Swift. I think he was. I think he averaged like 7 yards a carry or something. Um, and yeah, also the real story is if you are plus in the turnover margin, you probably did decent. Um, yeah, it was
Oh, Troy even hates the Bears.
yeah, Troy Aikman hates the Bears, but Troy Aikman's kind of a goober. Yeah, it was a good. I mean, Caleb Williams threw for more yards than what's that dude's name? Jaden Daniels. I don't know how I forgot his name for a second. Jaden Daniels had 3 touchdowns, but he had 1 interception. I think they lost a fumble. They
Mm-hmm.
lost 2 fumbles. Yes.
Yes.
So
I'm saying that like 100% sure. Yes.
they lost 2 fumbles. So yeah, don't go -3 in the turnover margin, and you got a
Have better
chance.
team.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on to what before I said. Okay, a big thing though is what I will say when it comes to the Washington Commanders is you have to have someone that can run the ball other than Jaden Daniels, like be a threat. I think like right now their running backs are not doing too hot. They're okay. They're maybe slightly serviceable, but they need a little bit better from the run, a little bit more from the run game. Okay, the next game, Bucks 49ers. I have 2 words for this. 3 words. Baker fucking Mayfield.
Yep. And
Uh,
that's it. That's what we got to say about that. Baker fucking Mayfield. All right. Let's,
yeah. Hey, Baker doesn't have that dog in him though, because dogs have Baker in them. That sounds bad.
well,
I'm gonna rescind that
pause.
statement. I'm gonna rescind that statement. Dogs got that Baker in them. I don't know.
It's
We'll take
worse.
it.
It's worse.
Listen. You can go over a lot of things. You can say a lot of things. There's quarterbacks that have bigger arms than Baker Mayfield, although he's up there. There's quarterbacks that are more accurate than Mayfield, although he's up there. There's quarterbacks that are more athletic than Baker Mayfield, but he's kind of sneaky with it. There's quarterbacks that are stronger than Baker Mayfield. I think he's up there, but there is not a single quarterback in the league outside of Lamar Jackson when he's healthy that is as that just pulls off these insane Houdini moves.
I think it's
Someone
even
told
bigger
me,
because Baker, you don't think of Baker as the world's greatest athlete.
no, he's a good athlete. Like he's sneaky athletic. Actually, he's a sneaky white.
Sneaky
He,
whites.
yeah, he just has. I don't know if it's. I mean, he's got a strong lower body, so he has the strength to just drive his legs into the ground and stay upright when it comes to like, especially when they hit him up a little higher towards the shoulders.
Mhm.
But he's just he goes +2, like Jackson Dart said, and John Gruden told him, hey, you need to start sliding. Like, I get where John Gruden's coming from, but these aren't the same fragile Peyton Manning-esque, like these aren't the same fragile quarterbacks you're talking about. These are These are corn-fed, beef-feeding quarterbacks they're stocky, they're thick with like 7 C's. These guys can. These guys
You started talking
are.
about Baker Mayfield, and every comment's been more and more questionable.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna be gay for anybody, no. um, I just think that when it comes down to it, and Jackson Dart is of the same ilk. I think but Baker Mayfield, you can say all these great things about him as a quarterback, but before he's a quarterback, he's a football player. You can't say that
Mhm.
about every quarterback. Some quarterbacks need to get zen. They need to like meditate. They need to talk to their therapist every Wednesday. They need to, make sure that they eat, kale twice a week. All these things, and those are great. Tom Brady, perfect example of why that's great. But Tom Brady is the epitome of like, I'm a quarterback. I'm not a football player. The greatest at that, actually. Nothing wrong with that. Although, again, me, I'm a Peyton Manning guy. But Baker Mayfield is like ripping zins on the sideline. He's getting up and
Got
talking
a
crazy.
lower. He's got a lower right and an upper decker on his left. Well, I did that backwards, but and he's just doubling it up. He switches it up every now and then, but he's fucking just going all the time. What Baker Mayfield does, and I think that's one of the things about why he's getting all these incredible plays. Baker navigates the field at an MVP level. When Baker's got to throw on the run, he okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. He makes those decisions quickly. He identifies those decisions quickly. But when he's running up the field, he's either I'm going to bulldoze through this guy because it's all there. If he sees an opportunity, oh, this guy just is running the wrong direction. This guy's running this way. If I make a little cut this way, I just gain 5 extra yards. He does that. He's amazing at that. That 3rd and 14 that he spun out of a sack and converted a 3rd and 14 all on his own when he started 7 yards back. So he ran for 21 yards. I mean, that was the perfect example of that, of his ability to navigate a field.
Yep. I actually think that was the best way to explain that. I think you did a great job illustrating that. And I'm actually like impressed.
I know
Okay, we're gonna
football. I
move
know
on.
football. I don't know what a match cover 4-6 is, but I know football.
Yeah, you don't know football. Like I know football, but
I don't know what the plays are, but I understand like the basic principles
I'll,
for the
I'll
most
tell you a
part.
funny story. I have 12 plays installed for our flag football team, and I just did it really simple. I have a formation, and then a name for the play. So the formation, name for the play. So it's like, let's say a formation's called the deuce, and then I just named a play floor, deuce floor. You're running floor out of deuce, right? 12 plays. I didn't realize how hard of a concept that was for people. A lot of people on my team are like still struggling to remember the plays, what they run. And I'm like, guys,
Wristbands?
if I was really making a playbook, it would have been like a 14 word. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I don't have, it would have been a 14-word play coming in at you, and you would have had to decipher that. So we got to figure this one out. But we're doing good. We're good. It's just funny
I
how
mean,
like
okay, here's the issue. How many formations do you have?
four.
I mean, 4 formations isn't that bad, and then 12 plays in those 4 formations. So
No,
technically,
really, every formation has their own play. So there's 3 plays per form. Like if we're in a formation, we can run 3 plays from them, but then I also have 2 plays that are universal. So I have like a play called jet and a play called star, and we can run them out of any formation. And then like, yeah, it's pretty simple, but it, we all have jobs, People aren't just dreaming about football plays like me. Okay, we're gonna move on. Colts Cardinals. I picked the Cardinals like a dumbass.
I don't.
Um,
Yeah, that was. I mean, I know you're trying to make up ground, but that was an inspired pick.
yeah. Kyler Murray's hurt, I think, so he didn't play. Jacoby Brissett played. But
Almost makes it like a worse pick.
yeah, well, Jacoby Brissett's not bad. But yeah, it was a close game. I think the Colts are frauds. I feel the Colts losing 4 games in a row at some point this year.
As soon as they figure out Daniel Jones, or Daniel Jones gets exposed, or he gets shaken and he starts seeing the ghost again, you feel like it's going to be a long streak down.
Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, but I mean, I could be wrong. But I watched, I didn't watch all of the game, but I watched some of it, and I'm just watching it. And granted, he doesn't have like the greatest receiving core in the league, but I just feel like they yeah, I feel like it's like a fragile frame that it with one bolt pulled out will just crumble.
As soon as you lose that one crucial piece,
Yeah.
one little bolt comes out, it's done. Yeah, I can feel that. I think they're a little bit more legit than you're giving them credit for. But
Yeah. Yeah.
we've seen Daniel Jones play bad football before. If he at any point he gets shaken or he starts falling apart, then yeah, it starts to crumble. Although they do have a great running game to complement it, so it's a lot easier to maintain that collapse when you at least have something to fall back onto.
The running game is the best thing to take on the road with you. Like if you have a running game, you have a chance. If you don't have a running game and you have an elite passing game, sometimes passing games don't travel well. And receivers, as we know, are fragile. So, but yeah,
So hit
I'm
him.
gonna take this one on the chin. This is on me for picking the Cardinals. I won't ever do it again. I've picked them like 3 times this year, and I think I've been wrong every time. Um, okay, the next game is the Raiders Titans. I picked the Titans. You picked the Raiders.
Yep.
Right pick. Cam Ward is the only good player on the Titans.
Yep. Well, I'll say this: apparently there was a coach from the Raiders, and I guess it was assistant or whatever, who's basically like the Titans were the least prepared and least motivated team I've seen in like a 20-year coaching career.
And the head coach got fired. So
Yeah,
that was a
feels
very
like they got
short
no
stint.
benches.
He coached in a total of 6 games and got fired.
I think he coached last year too. I think
No,
he
the
was.
head coach for the Titan. No, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think we were in his second year. I don't know if he coached the whole year last year. I don't remember.
Yeah. That guy, he was a Callahan kid. So he was like a nepotism hire. People just like hear a name, they go, yeah, this guy.
Yeah,
Um, John Gruden's out there. Go get him. Just saying. Yeah. So we're gonna go into yeah. This game wasn't like anything spectacular. I think the Raiders just didn't lose.
essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. So we covered all the games. Yes, we did. So now we are going to go into our picks for the week. Our picks. Starting the first game, Thursday night game.
You know,
Must
we never picked college games, right?
Oh, we didn't pick college games?
No.
Dude, my brain's right. Okay, we're going to get into our picks for college first, and then and then we'll move to the NFL. College picks. We're going with TCU versus Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
One of these teams has a good chance of being in the Big 12 championship game. I'm gonna pick TC. No, I'm gonna pick Baylor. This one's hard for me because they're kind of the same team.
Yeah, it feels very much like a toss up, honestly.
Yeah, they're kind of the same team. Really, really sneaky good on offense. Good quarterbacks, serviceable college football quarterbacks that are doing well, and then their defense leaves some room for improvement. But I'm gonna pick Baylor. I think the Baylor quarterback I like a little better, just a little better. And I think the Baylor defense I like just a little better.
Okay. I'm gonna pick TCU.
Okay.
I don't know much
Next,
about TCU. I know the quarterback's been playing well. I know they kicked the shit out of North Carolina, which doesn't mean much at this point.
yeah,
But
I'm gonna pick. Yeah, Baylor. You pick TCU. All right. Next game is Tennessee, Alabama.
mhm.
This one, all right, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I'm picking Alabama. Um, I don't think Tennessee's gonna beat them. They beat them last year. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, they beat them last year.
I don't think Tennessee's gonna do it again. Josh Heupel's a great coach. Tennessee's a really good football team. Um, I just think that Bama is getting in the groove and they're figuring things out, or they figured a lot of things out that they didn't have figured out in the early part of the
Mhm.
season. And I think that that's a good team. Both good teams. I'm picking Bama.
I'm with you on Bama. I think Bama's is. I keep sliding further and further down. I'm noticing that right now in the middle of the street. I think Bama is riding the hot wave. I think they're the hot hand. Excuse me. I'm going to stick with Bama here.
I would agree with you. All right. The next one, I like this pick. Ole Miss, Georgia. It's turning into an SEC gag fest.
It is very SEC heavy again, but it's another top 10 matchup. Georgia has one loss. Ole Miss is undefeated. I hate Ole Miss. I want them to lose. You already know my pick based off of that. I don't hate Ole Miss actually. I don't have no problem with the University of Mississippi.
I do actually. I have some problems with the University of Mississippi. Mega racist. Mega
Yeah,
racist.
I have historical issues
Yeah.
with the University of Mississippi. Historical issues, but like right now, if
The
I
rest
went,
of the country is doing everything they can to move on from racism. And Ole Miss has dug their heels into 1952 and said, we're good right here.
I mean, are you sure it's not like 1861?
No, 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 no. Because
It's
like
not that bad.
they at least let them on the campus, like
Gotcha. Yeah, that
they
makes
they
sense.
love
Yeah.
watching them play football.
Yep.
Love giving them
It's
money
not
to
as
play
racist when you
football.
say them talking about black people. It's more racist to say them than just say black people.
Okay, you sound like a
They let them on campus, you know. Hmm.
whatever. I'm yeah. I'm not racist towards anyone but Indians. I'm just joking. That was a joke. That was a joke. That was really a
That
joke.
is that is a bad joke, everybody.
Um, I just like, saying off the wall things. Yeah. If I had to pick a team in this, I think I'm gonna pick Ole Miss. I really like Ole Miss's quarterback. I'm gonna pick Ole Miss.
I like Austin Simmons. I think he's a really good kid. He's really smart too. I'm gonna pick Georgia because
Yeah,
um,
because your blind hate for Lane Kiffin
yeah,
can't
it's
win.
bad. It's
Yeah.
bad. It's gonna derail me. But also,
Biggest rivalry in college football, Devin versus Lane Kiffin.
I mean, dude, if like I haven't boxed a day in my life, but if we could set up the match on pay per view, I'll do it.
The funniest thing, Devin, you have a rivalry with Lane Kiffin, like UConn has a rivalry with University of Central Florida. You ever heard that story?
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember. I know they have the rivalry. I don't know what the source of it is. I just think it's always
No,
thought.
UCF is like there's no rivalry, and UConn's like no, there's a rivalry. We have the trophy. UCF has won most of the matchups and refused the trophy. Like the UConn's like, all right, take the trophy, and UCF's like, no, we're not taking the trophy. And they're like, ah, come on, please take the trophy, give it. And so, literally, the UConn head coach called it something. I'm gonna look this up really quick because this is like an incredible story.
The only reason I know about this is from playing random games on like NCAA online and shit like that. So the fact that this is the actual story behind this is fucking
It's
hilarious.
it's a right. They have it as the civil conflict is what it's called. The civil conflict. Um, and literally, it was like in 2015, the head coach um, of UConn, which was Diaco, had a trophy built for the series, and UCF didn't know. And the athletic coordinator or the head coach for UCF or something was like, uh, there's no reason for us to have a rivalry. We're not close. We don't like a rivalry literally makes no sense.
We're not
And
close. There's no like historical big matchups or anything.
yeah, and then the head coach for UConn was like, they don't get to say if they're our rival or not. They don't get to tell us they're not our rival. And then what was it? They played 3 times. Um, and UConn won twice, and then UCF
Wow.
won the last one. And when UCF won the last one, they exited the field without acknowledging the trophy or accepting it. Um, and then so the trophy was like just packed up and shipped back to Connecticut. And Diaco, the head coach, was like, after that game, he was like, I'm going to go ahead and shelve the venture or something of that. He said something like that. He basically said like, well, we'll put that on a back burner. We'll talk about that rivalry another day. Um, and then Scott Frost, when he was the head in 2016, Scott Frost asked UConn not to bring the trophy, and that UCF's official stance was they are opting out of the rivalry. So
Okay. Well, first of all, that's fucking hilarious. Second of all, and I'm confirming this right now. How often do these guys play each other?
they were in the same conference for a long time. They were both in the American. From 2013 to like 2019, they were in the same conference.
Okay.
And then
I'm getting a
UConn is
bunch of
now
different answers.
in the.
I'm getting a bunch of different answers off my internet search, but from what I could tell, they haven't played each other more than like 10 times.
They played each other a total of 8 times. No, since the rivalry was conceived, they played each other. The rivalry was conceived. They played each other a total of 8 times, and UConn has won twice.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
Wha-
like Oklahoma was in the Southern Division of the Big 12, so they have to be rivals with Baylor.
yeah. It's like if Tulsa was like, you're no, not even. That makes sense. It's like if Oklahoma was just sitting there and then like San Jose State was like, hey, fuck you, you're our rival. And Oklahoma was like, no, we're not. They're like, yeah, you don't get to tell us you're not our rival.
Hey, let's schedule a home and home right now.
Yeah, schedule a home and home right now. Oklahoma's like,
Fucking cowards.
no, we're not gonna do that. You're not our rival. And they're like, fuck you, guy, we are. We said we hate you and you hate us. And they're like, we don't even care about you. We don't even think about you. And he's like, no, you fucking hate us. Hate me. Please.
Imagine that
Hate
coming up,
me.
you're like, we're scheduling our rivalry. Like, we're rivals now. It's like, oh, you want to play? Like, yeah, I want to play. Like, okay, how much do y'all want? Like 500,000, 1.2, 1.4 million. Our rival's not going to pay us. It's like, rival, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
We do this for the love of the game. Yeah. The storied rivalry of San Quentin Valley or whatever, the San Jacinto Valley or something. It's some weird name like that.
Could it potentially be San Jose?
No, the valley is called like San Joaquin Valley in California. We're here because of the San Joaquin Valley hates the plains of Oklahoma. The storied rivalry.
That's
That's like
fucking
if
hilarious.
like someone tried to make a Red River style rivalry out of like Indiana, Louisiana State.
I'm going to be honest. I've always thought Oklahoma State and Texas Tech would have been good rivals.
The Little Brothers. No, great rival Oklahoma State A&M would have been back in the Big 12
But
days.
I think A&M probably would have dominated that series. I think it would have been more well,
Yeah,
not I wouldn't say dominated, but I think there's different styles in football. I think Oklahoma State and Texas Tech, at least kind of recently, have had similar styles of football. I think that would have been very fun.
yeah. Well, now Oklahoma State has no style of football, and Texas Tech has um, billionaire ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, air raid. How about I don't know the bank raid offense? That's what they're running right now. The bank raid
I'm
offense.
literally going to pay you not to play this game.
Yeah,
Just handing money to defensive to guys on the other team.
for real. All right. So we just picked
Ole Miss, Georgia. We're split on that one.
Yeah. Now we're going to USC Notre Dame. I'm gonna make this easy. I'm gonna pick Notre Dame. There's a reason I won't pick USC. You know the reason. Other people probably know the reason. No hate, just probably hate.
As much as I don't want to agree with you, I want to be different. I think I do want to pick Notre Dame. I know I don't think they're as good as they were last year, but I feel like USC just randomly drops games. They lost to Illinois, who we have decided Illinois is not all they're meant to be. Illinois is a quality loss when you lose to them apparently, but doesn't mean shit when you actually beat them or when Illinois beats you. So I don't know how that works out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take Notre Dame. Um, and that's just me being like not using my heart and my Oklahoma brain and being like, "Fuck you, Lincoln Riley, piece of shit."
Yeah, yeah. That's I kind of like I'm on the Lincoln. Like I like Lincoln Riley less than you. Um,
Oh, I
also
hate
because
Lincoln Riley.
I don't like Lincoln Riley. But I don't understand your disdain of Lane Kiffin. Do you like Lane Kiffin?
I don't like Lane Kiffin because every time his team goes 9-3, he does this thing where he goes and he sucks off the entire SEC in front of everybody. Like our conference is so tough, which is, by the way, if you weren't aware about the SEC bias and you still want to fight against it, look how many teams are ranked in the top 25 right now. They're SEC teams. They look so loaded up, and it is not that loaded up, guys. Not all those teams
Will
should be
be
in the top
ranked at the end of
25.
the year.
Yeah.
I
At the end of
completely.
the year, a bunch of these teams are going to suck, but they got them super ranked up super high right now. So that when everyone goes in, look, I lost to Vandy, and Vandy does look a lot better. But it's like I lost to Vandy and I lost to Tennessee. I should be in the playoff over undefeated. Blah blah blah, and it's like no, shut up. And Lane Kiffin does it every year. His team isn't good enough to get to the playoff. When it was 4 teams, he always ended up at number 6. And now that it's 12 teams, he's always going to end up at number 14. He's always going to be on the outside looking in, and he's going to keep sucking off the SEC. Like, oh man, Alabama. Oh man, LSU. Oh, they're such hard teams. Let us. And it's like, no, dude, no. You just got your back blown out, and no one's going to sympathize with you because you got your back blown out. You guys lost. Try again next year.
All right. So we both got Notre Dame. Moving on, we're gonna go BYU Utah. Um, I don't know. Um,
That's a tough game. It's a rivalry game first.
just because I have a catchphrase to use, it's the Mormons versus the Utes, the Cougars versus the Utes, but the Mormons versus the Utes. But they're all kind of Mormon in a way. But
Yeah, that's
what
a
I can
weird one.
promise
Oh,
you,
we got to go beat the Mormons, and it's like,
yeah. Well, Utah's party Mormons. BYU is religious
Mormon.
Mormons.
Yeah.
But what I promise you is going to happen is that there will be a Mormon massacre. Utah beats BYU.
Makes my pick easy. I'll take BYU. Utah only loss this year is Texas Tech. We agree Texas Tech is a good team. They were missing their starting quarterback for most of that game, I believe, if not all of it. I don't remember how long he was out for that, but he wasn't involved. So
they just had to play their $1 million backup quarterback. Oh, so tough.
Sucks, yeah. BYU is undefeated. All their games are pretty close. They don't have any like signature wins. But
BYU has a tougher back half of the schedule than people are like giving them. Like if BYU goes and wins, they're really good.
Well, BYU has that at home. The Utah fans, I know they were making a big thing about how they were going to invade the stadium. BYU fans do show up though. I was there for the Alamo Bowl, and they were there in force and they were loud. The Colorado fans for that game, by the way, were extremely loud, and so they were down 2 scores, and all of a sudden they were very quiet because 90% of them actually aren't Colorado fans.
Yeah, they're Deion Sanders. They're not even Deion Sanders fans. They just think that like I don't know. Like the amount of people that are like, "Oh, I'm a Shador Sanders fan." It's like,
Why?
why?
Cheer for him when he was at Jacksonville State.
Jackson State.
Same difference.
No, not the same difference.
Did you know Jacksonville State isn't in Jacksonville, Florida.
It's in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
Most people don't.
You're welcome. That is mind blowing though when you figure that out and you're like, there's more than one Jacksonville. What?
Yep.
Who would want to live in worse Jacksonville?
I tried to look up the hospital that I got all of my like major procedures done back when I was really sick, which is Christus Santa Rosa, and I was looking up Santa Rosa Hospital, and I just can't sending me to Santa Rosa, California. I was like, no, definitely not here. I would not have survived that trip. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. Different names, different places. Who would have thought?
Shout out Catholic people. Um, yeah. So I picked Utah. You picked BYU. So we'll see. Overall, you had TCU. I had Baylor. We both picked Bama. You picked Georgia. I picked Ole Miss. I picked Notre Dame. You picked Notre Dame. You picked BYU. I picked Utah. Okay. I like it. I like it. All right. Next, NFL picks. We kind of went back to the old way. We're only going to do it once, but that's because I was tired. I accidentally messed up.
Because you messed this whole fucking thing up.
Yeah. We're going to go right into the NFL picks. We're going to be picking the Thursday night game, which this episode won't be out until after the Thursday night game happens. So, yeah. We're going to stop doing that, by the way. If we're going to post episodes on Friday, we'll pick games that only occur after the episode. Steelers versus Bengals. To me, it's a pretty simple game. I'm picking Steelers, obviously. Yep. Steelers don't do anything great. They just do a lot of things okay, and they're good because of it.
Yep, I agree.
And
yeah.
Bengals are a shit show. It's not their fault. Joe Burrow's hurt. They do have Joe Flacco. Old man Flacco is still pretty good at quarterbacking, but I just don't see the Steelers. The Steelers defense is really good. I don't see the Steelers losing this game.
Yeah, I don't see Flacco leading them up. Steelers all the way.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Patriots, Titans. Pick this game solely because the Titans are Vrabel's old team, and they got rid of them. And look at them now.
Yep.
I think this is a pretty simple pick. I'm picking the Patriots. Watch the Titans get this win, and I'll cry.
I'm also taking the Patriots. The Patriots have looked good. Obviously, you just got your coach fired. You have one good player on your team right now. You're done. I'll have two things to say about this. Titans, first of all, hey, time to buy into the rebuild. Okay, you got your quarterback. You know he's there. You know he wants to play. Most of the players on that team don't want to be there anyways. Start making trades, picking up draft picks, second rounders, third rounders, fourth rounders. You need to go into this next year's draft with like 20 draft picks. Yeah. Start with a whole new team.
And just draft.
And then, hey, this guy didn't get picked sixth. Maybe we can trade a couple seconds and a third and get this 12th spot and grab him. All right, you need to just reload, get Cam Ward some dudes that are desperate and dying to play professional football. Start fresh. Call Bill Belichick. Not really, though.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, that would be funny in a roundabout trade. The Titans get Bill Belichick and the Patriots get Vrabel. That would be pretty funny.
Would be hilarious. I will say this. Instead of us picking who's going to win this game, because I think it's pretty obvious who you want to pick in this game, how much are the Patriots going to win by?
I'm actually only going to go by, I think they're going to win by 13.
Damn, that's what I was going to say.
Fuck it, I'll do 10.
How about this? Let's call it 13. You want to take the over or the under? You said 10, you'll take the under, I'll take the over.
Okay, that works.
I like that. There we go.
I like that. Chargers Colts is the next game. Good game. I think the Chargers are going to win. Actually, I lied. The Colts are going to win. I forgot the Chargers are beat up bad. The Colts. I'm taking the Colts.
I feel like they are beat up. I thought they were 3-3. They're actually 4-2, so they're doing better than I thought.
Yeah, but they
got off to a 3-0 start. Now they're 1-2 in the last 3 weeks. Yeah, I think. Man.
Both their tackles are hurt, and their number one receivers out.
You're pretty far behind me, and I have a over 500 record in NFL picks. If I just never disagree with you again.
That's a fair point.
I could go under 500, but I also will take the Colts in this situation.
Buccaneers, Lions. Preface this one. Buccaneers, top 4 receivers are out. Mike Evans might be back for this game, but don't bet money on it. 2 starting offensive linemen are out. Bucky Irving, I think, is still out. So 7 starters on offense are out. Or 7 depth pieces, at least guys that are going to get a lot of playing time on offense are out. Lions have a really good run game. I think the Buccaneers defense is more bend, don't break than it is shut down. I still am picking the Buccaneers, but that's because I'm pretty sure I think the Lions will win this game. I do, but I'm going to pick the Buccaneers just because I can't pick against my dog.
Damn. I was hoping you were going to pick the Lions because then I was going to call on that Baker magic. Baker, touchdown maker. Fuck. I'll take the Lions. I don't want to pick against Baker either, but yeah, they're pretty fucking beat up. They need to get these guys back in, and then
if the Buccaneers win, they'll be 6-1, and they'll be just primed when they start getting healthy in this back half of the season to just be going on a monstrous run. They're not playing their best football yet. Baker Mayfield hasn't played his best football yet, and he's played really, really good MVP level football already. So
let me think about this for a second. Lions, Monday night, Lions are hosting. They've had really good games recently in the playoffs too. Fuck, man. I'm gonna take the Lions. I think the Lions coming off a loss come back so much like stronger and angrier under Dan Campbell. I'm gonna stick with the Lions. Okay, yeah, that'll be my pick.
All right, so that does it. We don't have a segment at the end. It's gonna be the episode for the day. We appreciate you guys. This is episode 10, so we're in the double digits.
Double digits, baby.
Episode 10. Thank you guys for watching. Do all the things. Subscribe. Comment below. Actually, I do have a question. Comment below who you think is the MVP right now in the NFL.
Who do you think the MVP in the NFL is right now?
Me, Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield.
But if everyone has their opinion.
Cowboys had a defense, which is hilarious that this is how it works. The Dallas Cowboys had a defense that was winning football games. Dak Prescott would be number 2 easy, which is hilarious.
Well, Dak Prescott would be my number 3 right now. Anyway. But yeah. Okay. That's the episode. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Tailgate Sports Media Podcast, episode 10. I'm Peyton. That's Devin. See you guys.